Hi, my name is Krishna Hebner, and my topic for this presentation is Louisa May Alcott. I will be discussing several different points over the next 5 minutes. Louisa May Alcott was the daughter of Bronson and Abigail May Alcott. She was born in Germantown, Pennsylvania. However, she would later spend a great deal of her adult life in Concord, Massachusetts. Louisa's education was greatly impacted by her father. Also, one of their neighbors and also a close friend of the family was Ralph Waldo Emerson, and this was someone that Louisa actually really looked up to, that she admired. Some of her earliest stories were actually written for not only her sisters, but for the daughter of Emerson. Louisa had several jobs early on. They included, she was not only a seamstress, she was a teacher, and then she later decided upon writing. One of the reasons behind deciding to write was she needed a steady income for her family. Louisa's family actually really looked to her to help them with income, to help meet the needs of the family. Early on, Louisa wrote poems, and she actually wrote them under the name Flora Fairfield. She would later go on to write some serial stories under the name A.M. Bernard. Later on in life, she would work as a volunteer nurse. She did this. This was actually for caring for wounded soldiers, soldiers that had actually been wounded in the American Civil War. And during this time, Louisa would write letters home to her family. She would later use these letters to write hospital sketches. Along with hospital sketches, she also had moods and work, and these were actually written for adult audiences. During the time that Louisa actually was a volunteer nurse, this was a time frame when this was really unheard of for that era. Louisa was very independent, and her family looked up to her. She really wanted to make a difference, to succeed, to overcome her circumstances. She would later meet a gentleman by the name of Thomas Niles. He would urge Louisa to write a children's novel. This is when she would actually write Little Women and also Little Men. These are a couple of her different novels that actually led to great success for her, and they not only led to success, but they provided a really good income for her family. She would write in Little Women was actually done about several of the experiences from Alcott's own family. And they gave her a great deal of success that actually has carried on even to today. Young ladies are still, it's mainly young women that enjoy these writings, but they are still very popular. Louisa Alcott would later continue to be a caregiver for her family. After the passing of her mother, she would actually be the caregiver for her father. And after her father experienced, he had a stroke that was actually had a tremendous effect upon his health. Then he would later on die 6 years after this stroke. And Louisa actually died 2 days after her father.